Hey guys, I'm at the Woodshed Barber, and today we're talking about the TPOB Yeti. So, the TPOB, or the Pissed Off Barber Yeti. Yeah, I'm not talking about coolers. I'm not talking about those hats that, everybody down at the Redneck Yacht Club wears all the time. I'm talking about the clipper, the Yeti. Now, I've got a lot of opinions on this one. It's a little bit of a head scratcher for me. So, whenever I first got this clipper, for one thing, it was between this and the Troll Clipper. The Troll Clipper, which I may still review, I don't know, we'll see. It looks just like the Low Pro Clipper, which you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, it's all right, but it's not as good to me as the Low Pro FX trimmer. But I was looking around and I saw the Yeti. For one thing, it's got a unique shape to it that I was curious about. I liked the way it looked. But I also saw other reviews on it saying how much they liked it. They liked the power of it, the way it cut. So I was like, you know what? I'm intrigued. Let's get it. So guys, let's start off. Let's talk about the power.
Pop the hood. 2JZ engine, no shit.
So guys, the power of the Yeti. It is a 9-volt micro-tripped magnetic motor that has 10,000 RPMs. Now, that whole setup sounds familiar, right? Sounds kind of like the Stylecraft Mythic. Sounds kind of like the Gamma X Ergo. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I think it's quite possible that the motor, especially because you can see it through the window there, I think that motor may be the same motor that's in both of those clippers. I do know that the Mythic and the X Ergo are very similar in that regard. They have the same motor, just like the Rebel and the Boosted from Gamma Stylecraft is also the same motor that's in the Apex. They do a lot of the same motors, but different form factors, different weight, different handle, all that stuff. I think this is kind of like that. Now, if, and I mean if, you are looking for a clipper that does not have, not everybody likes the way the X Ergo feels, guys. I do, but not everybody does. I've heard people refer to them as banana clippers. And the Mythic is a heavy clipper. I prefer usually heavier clippers. I had no problem with the Mythic. I really enjoyed using it. But this right here is a nice thing that if you want something that feels kind of like the Mythic in the way that it's shaped, because it's kind of got that long body, that wider, and it's kind of almost more traditional in the way it's shaped, kind of like the Mythic is compared to the X Ergo. But you don't want the banana clipper. This is a nice compromise. Feels good. I mean, it has a 2-hour runtime, which isn't the most possible, but I mean, it's pretty quiet. It sounds good. It sounds powerful. Just like the X Ergo, I use that for finesse cutting, and the same thing I did with the Mythic. I did not use them for bulk. I use them for fading and detailing. So I would not be going through bulk with this, but it is a very good motor. So I'd say 7 out of 10.
You're in dire need of an upgrade. Systemic, top to bottom, 100-point restoration.
So guys, the design of the Yeti. It kind of has that traditional clipper shape that you see with the Magic clips, with all these, but it is longer, has kind of a squared end to it. I do love the fact that it has USB-C charging, and it does come with a charging dock. There you go. The only thing about the charging dock is whenever you first put it in there, you do have to actually push it. Push it good. Like push it down all the way. You can't just drop it in. You got to push it down until you see that light flash on. At first I was worried. I had plugged it up and I was like, oh no, it's not charging. And I was like, maybe it's not on all the way. So I did push it. I did push it all the way in and got it to charge. But the way it feels in the hand, even though it looks bulkier than it may think it is, because that little divot right there, it's a good feeling clipper. It's a really good feeling clipper, guys. So design, I would also say 7 out of 10. It's not perfect, but I really do like it. And another thing about the design of this clipper is, I talked about this with the Troll trimmer review. This flat black that comes with TPOB, it has like this nice rubbery grip to it. I was gonna keep it with the green or the pink lids right here. And also, guys, these face plates change out, so you can do whatever you want with those. But it came with the green and black on there, and I wasn't just gonna keep it like that until I felt that black. And it's got a little bit of a rubbery texture on it. It feels really good. So design, guys, 7 out of 10. So I think where this clipper kind of fails me is with the blade. It came with the X Diamond Carbon fade blade from TPOB. I didn't like the way it felt. I don't know why. I even took it off and put on the XO blade from them. It's kind of like the taper blade, the Faper blade, and it didn't work out either. So I got looking closer, and it does come with the shallow tooth cutting blade. And I don't know what it is, but for me, that blade just does not do anything good. I've felt that with every time I used it with Gamma or Stylecraft, and now with TPOB, all these companies that are using these real super thin cutting blades, I don't know, the shallow tooth one just seems worthless to me. So I took off both blades, and then I did have an extra deep tooth cutting blade from, I believe, I think it was maybe the black one that I took off of my Exergo to put the gold one on there, and put that on there. And I decided to put a Babyless Pro taper blade on there, and then it started cutting good. But even then, like I said, still before with the power of it, it's just, to me, it's a finesse clipper. It's not your be all end all do it all clipper. But with the taper blade, I have gotten some really nice fades out of this. And so, you may have to play around with it a little bit, but find out the blade that works best for you. But guys, I just don't think that shallow tooth cutting blade is just where it's at. It doesn't cut. It just didn't cut. I actually snagged one dude's hair going through it. I was like, ooh, that's not good. So, yeah, just not for me. So blade, guys, I would go 6 out of 10.
Because the way that my bank account is set up, the thing is, I got a checking in the savings, but all my money is in the savings. I don't think my card is going to go through.
So the cost. This is going to sound familiar because I just talked about the Troll. I put it in my cart. Had it sitting there for a little while. I was thinking, I'll probably do a review on that soon, so I'll just leave it there. And it was like $79, $80, something like that. Actually, it might have been $85. And it dropped down to $56, $57, $58, something like that. And I was like, man, I'm pulling the trigger on this. So that's what's crazy, guys. If you do like TPOB stuff, get on Amazon, put it in your cart, wait, see what happens. Because I got the Yeti and the Troll for just a little bit over $100. That's crazy. So cost, considering what this is, to me, this is not your be-all, end-all clipper. It's your and clipper. Like, I have got my main clipper, and I've got this one for finessing some fades. For that, guys, I mean, cost-wise, it's a 10 out of 10. That's a no-brainer. It comes with 6 of these green single magnet guards. I don't like the plastic on them a whole lot. However, I will say, when they snap on, they're not coming off. I mean, very strong. I mean, you have to really grab them to pull them off. So definitely strong guards. Comes with the guards. Goes from half all the way up to a 6. Does come with a charging stand. Comes with a charging cable. 2 different lids. I mean, tons of accessories for the price. And that was even if it was the $80 price I was originally going to pay for it. So 10 out of 10, guys.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
So performance, like I said, it's just to me, you got, for one thing, get the right cutting blade. And if you're a taper blade guy, if you're a faper blade guy, if you're the fade blade guy, whichever one it is, find the one that you like with a deep tooth cutting blade and roll with that. That would be what I would suggest. So performance, once I got that going, once I started doing what I usually do with it, I was using it for the same purpose I usually use my X-Ergo for. So I can't go through bulk. I don't give it that kind of responsibility. So guys, for performance wise, 7 out of 10. So my overall thoughts on the TPOB, the Pissed Off Barber Yeti. You can't drink out of it. It won't keep your milk cold. It's not a hat. You don't put a sticker on the back of your car. But as far as a little bitty finesse, not little bitty, it's not a small clipper, but as far as a good, strong, motored clipper that can give you some finesse with your fades, it's not bad. I mean, if you're in that same camp like with the Troll, if you're wanting to, and maybe that's one reason I will try the Troll clipper. I may try that, guys, because maybe this trio is a good trio for a young student barber. If the Troll clipper is like the Low Pro FX clipper, it can absolutely go through some hair. You know, that's one thing I will not dog the Low Pro FX at all for. It can go through some hair. But fading wise is where for me it slipped. So that with this, with the trimmer, might be a nice trio. I may have to review that next and see what's up. So guys, overall I would put this at a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's the must have, but especially if you're a TPOB fan, it's a good grab. Gosh, I mean, once again, guys, what this guy's doing for cost for us is just amazing. He's coming out with great clippers, great trimmers, and he's not making us break the bank for it. And for the most part, they come with charging docks. So you guys know what I think about that. Well, guys, I appreciate you watching this. Thanks for tuning in. Please click that like button, subscribe, comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys what you think about these reviews I'm doing. I am going to be dropping some new, different content here coming soon, and we'll see where we go with that. So guys, as always, I'll check you on the next one.
Oh!